Hey guys, Stephen Gilbert here with soulweb.org, where internet marketing meets integrity. And on today's show, we're going to talk a little bit more about what I consider to be one of the simplest ways to make money on the internet. You don't need a website, you don't need technical skills, you just got to be the middleman. What do I mean by that? Well, it's kind of like arbitrage in real life. In real life, you can go to antique stores and Craigslist and buy these things and then sell them over the internet or whatever, or buy things from Amazon and sell them on eBay. Just kind of be a middleman in that way. But that can take a lot of work and a lot of time and a lot of research and a lot of effort, which turns a lot of people off. But there's always been an easier way to do it, and that's selling e-services as a middleman to people from one site and buying from people selling on another site. So in other words, buying from people selling on places like SEOclerks.com or Fiverr and selling those jobs to people at Project for Hire, Guru, People for Hire, Craigslist, and other outsourcing sites. And that's where Profit Penguin comes in. And that's what we're going to be reviewing today and interviewing Bill Hugall about. We're going to be talking more about that because it's his new software and it's coming out on Monday at 11 a.m. Eastern. Hey guys, Stephen Gilbert here with soulweb.org, where internet marketing meets integrity. And on today's show, we have Bill Hugall.
Hugall, that's right, yeah.
Bill Hugall. And we're going to be asking him a few questions. How you doing today, Bill?
Doing awesome, man. Doing awesome. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Cool. Well, before we get into your software, I like to start off the interview with a few interview questions just to kind of like break the ice. So I'm wondering, what's the most satisfying thing about this job for you, about being a software creator slash marketer?
Uh, the fact that I get to sit in my PJs every day, it honestly is. I remember like the grind, getting up, driving to work, hating rush hour traffic, spending all day there, and then doing that grind on the way home. And in Vancouver, it's all bridges. So to get home, like rush hour is terrible. So now most of the time it'll be like 3 o'clock in the afternoon and we've got to pick up the kids. So then I'll finally get dressed. But this most satisfying thing is just like life on your own terms, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Are you in Vancouver, Washington? Vancouver,
Canada, BC.
That's the best one, honestly.
I haven't been to the other one. I'll just say it is the best though.
It's all right. It's all right. It's like an outcrop of Portland, Oregon, but yours is better. Anyway, dude. So you have a new software coming out called Profit Penguin, right?
Yeah.
What exactly does that do?
Profit Penguin is going to take people who, let's just say, don't necessarily have the technical capacities to go out and create, like, say, squeeze pages or funnels or all that stuff. They don't know how to do it, but they want to learn how to actually start making their money online. And what that's going to do is we're going to run through the basic arbitrage concept where you can search providers and you can search for people that will give you services for super cheap, which is kind of the deal. I mean, we've got in the way it works is some of the providers that we have will actually do the work for $1 because we use a different type of site that isn't quite as known as some of the other ones, and you can get high quality work for $1, which leads to all kinds of possibilities for you. So the software just gives anyone who has an internet connection the ability to get out and make some money, right? And that's the key with Profit Penguin is we wanted it to be easy to profit if you're willing to just push a few buttons and get to work.
Yeah, that's a great software, and it actually ties directly into something that we've been working on. Like my students and I, we've been working on this thing called arbitrage, which is actually exactly what Profit Penguin is about. Saying, look, if you don't want to get into the technical SEO game, if you don't want to get into the video ranking and all this stuff, well, here's the easiest way to do it. You know, it's almost like you're selling stuff in real life, but it's over the internet because it's, you know, services or whatever, or like graphic design. So I always advocate that. I would assume you would use that to this, like, because I know you can use this software for, you know, finding services you need done. But then of course, if you wanted to, the main reason why I'm going to use it is to show is to pick the the low cost things over here and sell them over here. And it's kind of like arbitrage, because we cover like physical product arbitrage, like Amazon to eBay. And I'm like, well, if you don't want to deal with the hassle of that, you can do it this way instead. And that's why I really like Profit Penguin. How would you use it, I guess, is the question. Like what sites would you pick on there to use, or would you use all of them, or?
Well, that's the cool part, is that I use it for both, right? Like as soon as it started and we had everything all worked out, it was just like, okay, well now I can find everything I need anywhere. I can find cheaper solutions, I can find cheap solutions, I can find a little bit higher price solutions, but now all I do is I just type it in there. And I don't know if as an actual business owner, you've spent much time looking for stuff on, say, Fiverr, but when you look for something, you just scroll through all the images and the prettiness, and you end up being there. You go into like what I call the Fiverr zone, where you go in and you don't come out for like 3 hours. It seems like you're in there for a minute. So with this, it just keeps it defined. You see what it is, and you pick the one that attracts you most based on the words. So for a business, it's super easy to just plug in and find what you need. And if you're used to paying like $800 for a logo or a redesign or some company pamphlets, using this software, you're going to be like, wow, I can get this done for like 15 bucks. So that's an advantage to businesses. And also the other way to use it is because I do like to add some arbitrage here and there. I do like to go out. I've got a few local clients. I actually had to go in and get them, but the same concept. They needed logo, they needed Facebook, they needed all that stuff. And I was able to just go to some of these sites and actually do it. And now the way to do it is just to use the software and find people that are actually working on it and not needing to sell. Because that's the other pitfall that people fall into on the internet, is they have to know how to sell. And it's really not that hard to sell, but it's even easier to sell when someone says, I need this service, you have this service, and you give them a price. And the cool part with kind of using the software is you get to set that price. So if you're not comfortable charging $5 or paying $5 and then charging $900, don't. Charge $175. Get yourself going. See that you can make the money. Get started with it, and then you can balloon up from there. It's all up to you, right? So there's tons of flexibility and different ways to use the software.
Yeah, I think a big thing that people are going to want to use it for is to do that arbitrage, because it really does make it so easy. But I think the stopping point for them, like the problem they're going to run into, is they're going to hit that roadblock in their brain. What do I say? So I've actually, because it's funny you mentioned that, I was thinking of that. What unique bonus can I offer? So for people watching this interview, I'm going to be giving you a sales script you can use just basic, because it's not hard. It's really not, especially when they need a service. So I'm going to be, as part of the bonus package, which we'll talk about at the end of the review video. Just want to drop this in the middle of the interview. We'll have that sales script bonus, which will just walk you through it. So don't let that stop you. But I think a big thing people are worried about is what operating systems does it work on? Do they need a certain one, or can every computer use it?
Well, that's kind of the elephant in the room. So there are other opportunities to use something like this, but they are limited in their reach. And what we did was we made it web-based, and you only need the access details. So let's say you go on a vacation with your wife, but you're not allowed to bring the work computer, but you'd still like to make some money because you're bored and it's like, hangover day or whatever day it is. You're just chilling on the beach, but you'd like to make some money. All you need are details, and you can use her computer, whether it's a Mac or it's Windows. Doesn't matter what computer you're using, you can run this software because it's web-based. So there are no restrictions. You don't need licenses. If you have a team, your team can use it. Like, it's completely flexible, and that was our goal. Is we don't want to limit anyone, and we don't want you to have to download it and not be able to access it, because my trip to San Diego, there were some downtimes where I totally could have used it. We didn't have the software yet, but I didn't have my regular computer. If I had had that, I would have been able to use it, right? So to be able to go out and be anywhere in the world and access your opportunity to make money is something that was pretty important to us.
Yeah, I think that's a big one, because the thing that worries me most about softwares that I buy is I don't want to sit here and waste my valuable time trying to get it to work and all this stuff. I don't want to run into bugs once I press start. But you guys have removed the technical aspect. They just have to log in as if it were Facebook or something. And I think that's going to be it's a huge, huge thing. I think people are going to love that. I've been looking at it. I love it. And again, we'll have a review at the end of the video. But just a few more questions here. Who do you think is going to benefit the most from getting this? Who do you think can really, like, who's your target audience?
It's funny. That question's so deep because I think everybody can benefit from it, from business owners to newbies. But that person that I was, that just wanted that push button solution, and I hate, so I'll use the air quotes because I hate that, but it's the truth, because that's what we're offering here, is that solution. And it's the people that get told you don't need technical ability, and then they have to create a squeeze page, and then they've got to create a follow-up, an autoresponder. It's for those people that are sick of trying to do that. And even inside the software, what we've done is we've got the different levels. So if you get the one, like, you have all these different sites to pick from, and you don't have to worry about saturation or anything like that. You just get to work, you push the buttons, and your customers obviously are going to love it because they got a sales script coming. So it takes the no-brainer work out of it. It just makes it completely copy and paste, which is what we want, right? I remember, you got to remember that place where you're sitting there and you're like, it's a push button, but now I have to learn this, and I have to become a sales guy and a copywriter. Otherwise, it's not push button. So eliminate all of that and get rid of it, because while that other stuff is easy, it does take learning, it does take time. And if you do this to get you started, get you making the money, and we show you ways you can scale it right on up to be a huge business, then you can go and do that. Or you can use it as your moneymaker to fund your other ventures, which is what I always, when people are like, hey, would you like to do a project? I'm like, well, why don't we do this first so that the profits from this can fund this? Because it's always better to have business money instead of your own bank account money, right?
Yeah, no, and that's what I always tell my students to do. They're like, man, I'm in a bind. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to make, any kind of money for my business or online or for anything. What do I do? I'm like, well, the easiest thing you can do is skip Google, at least at first, skip paid ads. The easiest thing you can do is either arbitrage physical products or do what I did and arbitrage e-products, because you can cross-sell them on so many different places, on like internet marketing forums. You got Warrior Forum, you got the Wicked Fire, all these different internet marketing places that have services where you can resell this, and this dashboard just makes it so simple to use, whether you're buying it or selling them. So I really think you guys are going to have a winner here.
It's funny you mentioned that. I just wanted to jump in real quick. For those of you that are also worried, and I just want to point this out now, like, so when you get into the software and you're not stuck, like, okay, how do I provide proof? Because that's where a lot of people will come in, they'll be like, okay, I got this, but now I want to sell this service. How do I prove that this is my service? Well, the people you're using have the sales copy to their own little gigs, and they have the pictures. So you've got everything you need. And I mean, more advanced would be just to set up a website and make it happen, but you've got everything you need within the confines of this software to cover the proof, to find the buyers, and to go out and get the gigs done cheap. So I just want to make that clear, because that's a huge bonus, right? Is knowing that that's your one pitfall. Where's my proof? Well, your proof is in the provider who's part of your team.
Yeah, for sure. And how many different, like, you don't have to give an exact number, but it searches a bunch of different sites, right? It's not limited to just one or two.
No. What we have is we've got 3 different levels, right, of intro. So like the diamond level gives you access to absolutely everything, unlimited searches.
Okay.
For those businesses that just want to get in, they know they're going to do 40 searches in like 6 months or something like that. They just want it there. We've got that as your base level. And then gold is unlimited. It's using the 2 sites, and then once you get into diamond, it's just poof, everything is there for you for the taking, plus all sorts of extra goodies. So it's good times.
Yeah, so that's actually a perfect lead into the question. There's 3 different packages on the front end, and it's gold, diamond, and
I think it's gold, platinum, and diamond.
Okay, all right. You know what? I can just cover those in the review video. I have that information. When's it going to launch?
It's launching June 1st, Monday. So a couple days from now.
All right, Monday. And what time do they need to be here, I assume?
Well, 11 a.m. is when it actually goes live. It may go live a little bit early. We do have a demo and a kind of pre-sale webinar where we give them a blueprint where they can actually take it out without the software, go make some cash, and then show them how to use the software to really ramp that up and to have kind of unstoppable income. So whenever that webinar wraps up, we're going to push that button live so everyone can get going. So 10:45 to 11 o'clock, they should really be looking out for the details.
Speaking of that webinar, if people want to learn more, there's a link to sign up to it right below the video. I know I've been sitting you guys there for the past couple of days, but not only do you get the cool webinar where they show you everything about it, there's also little education pieces they send out to you, which you're really going to want to see. They're really good. So sign up if you have time to watch it. If not, just finish the interview. I'll cover a lot, but they'll really show you some cool stuff. Really excited about that. I'm going to be there for that too, actually. I've already signed up. How long is the offer going to be open, and is it a dime sale?
It is not a dime sale. Everything is open for 5 days. Once it's closed, it's going to be all put together into a big package and sold for a boatload more. Our rate will be going for $497, and that will include like absolutely everything. So 5 days is a good time, and then we're going to be taking it out. It's going to be more of a private kind of deal. We just want to do the product, get it out to the market, give people some opportunity to use a product that's going to be a lot more expensive for cheaper, and get out and see how powerful it can be, and hopefully change some lives in the process.
Yeah, and that'll actually help keep competition down too, because if you're not keeping it open forever, it'll make sure there's like literally a ton of people, no matter where you are, looking for services. So that's perfect. I like that approach.
Yeah, that's what we didn't want to do, because we have those extra sites, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as you let everybody into those extra sites, and it's just like flooding the market with those sites, we don't want to do that. We want this to be a very private, use this as a business kind of thing, but at the same time, we want to help out those people that are just getting started and need the help.
Cool. What are there any OTOs, and what are those, and how much?
Yep. There's 2 OTOs. There is a business builder. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through and show you 3 extra ways to create income using the software. And there's also a bonus way that you can just kind of go out, get your foot in the door, and start making some extra cash right away. It was one of the methods I used when I wanted to make that push from a part-time marketer doing okay and just kind of quit my job. So I used that system to just go out and start making some money right away. And you can do that from the comfort of your own home as well. So that's in there. And then we've got the Penguin Mastery, which is going to show you how you can just automate the entire thing. Because while it's only a few buttons, if you really get into it, it's always nicer to have an income that just runs itself. So we're going to show you how to set it all up so it's completely done by a couple emails, and you can govern it that way instead of having to go out, do the work and all that stuff. We show you how to autopilot the whole process. So those are the two ones. Oh, and there's a private Facebook group as well with those 2 OTOs, so that we're there to help you out. There's going to be something to get to you as quickly as possible. And I run a lot of Facebook groups, so I know the power of having like-minded people in the community, because you could go out and try and tell your sister Katrina tomorrow about what you're doing, and she's not going to be excited that you made a $45 profit, but everybody in the group is, and it's going to help those people. So it's a pretty powerful motivator when you're getting started, having that group of like-minded people there, and we will be around to help you out if you have any questions.
Yeah, no, those groups are godsend, really. I'm in a few myself. I've got one. I mean, they're a blast for sure. How much is OTO 1? And if you don't have the price, I'll include it in the video. If you
right off the top of my head today.
That's fine. No worries. No worries. I know they're pretty standardized. I'll include it. It's no big deal. So I guess if you had, I don't know, a final call to action or words of wisdom, what would it be? Your 15 seconds of fame in the minds of.
I certainly hope it's longer than 15 seconds, but I mean, end of the day, whether like the software is a get in there, and it's a no stop, right, guys? It's just like anything. While it's easy to use, you're still going to have to get out and do the work. But at the end of the day, software or not, the most important thing for you to do, even though I should be selling you right now, is to just get out and follow what it is you're doing. And with this software, you can ignore the clutter, and just get to work until you're profitable. Once you're profitable, you can start examining more stuff, but it's about being focused. So one of the things I had to learn moving into my business was that I had to be incredibly focused with one income stream, then work towards creating another one that was funded by this and not my paycheck from work. And that's really key, is you can use the software to do that, and then you can start finding the other ways. And failures don't hurt when you're using profit instead of like living allowance. You know what I mean? So just get out there, stay strong, stay with it, get to it, get into the Facebook group so that you have us there, and you don't fade out in the next 2 days. We want to see you succeed. So get in there, take action, and make sure that you hold us accountable to the words we're saying.
Yeah, you heard it right there, folks. That's 2 people now that you've heard say that you need 2 income, or not 2, you need a main income stream. That way the failures and the stings don't hurt as bad. I actually had a big video on that, so that's perfect. If 2 people say it, there's got to be something to it. So, all right, Bill. Well, hey, man, I appreciate your time. I know you got to get going to a soccer game. Man, thanks for taking the time to come on and talk with us.
I appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me on. Anytime.
Yeah, no problem, dude. Looking forward to this. Everyone, if you're watching, sign up to that webinar below. You'll start getting free gifts related to arbitrage that will explain more about the process and teach you more, as well as be signed up to see his presentation on Monday morning if you got time. If not, watch this video, ask questions below, and thanks for watching. Thanks, Bill.
Thanks, Jake.